First contact. The vastness of space had always called to Dr. Elara Vance. As she guided her small exploration vessel through the asteroid belt of a distant solar system, she couldn't help but feel a sense of awe at the cosmic dance unfolding before her. Elara had left Earth 5 years ago, driven by an insatiable curiosity about what lay beyond humanity's reach. Now, billions of miles from home, she was about to make a discovery that would change the course of human history. A ping from her ship's sensors drew her attention. Unusual energy signature detected, the AI assistant announced. Origin: Asteroid AX-2279. Composition: unknown. Elara's heart raced as she maneuvered her ship closer to the asteroid. As she approached, she saw it, a faint blue glow emanating from a crevice in the rock. "This is it," she whispered to herself. "This is what I've been searching for." With practiced ease, Elara donned her spacesuit and prepared for EVA. As she floated towards the asteroid, the blue glow intensified, pulsing like a heartbeat. She landed softly on the surface, magnetic boots securing her in place. Carefully, she made her way to the crevice, her suit's lights illuminating the way. What she found defied explanation. Nestled within the rock was a sleek, metallic object about the size of a football. Its surface was covered in intricate, swirling patterns that seemed to shift and change as she watched. Elara's scientific mind raced with possibilities. "Extraterrestrial origin confirmed," she said into her comm, recording her findings. "The object appears to be some kind of artifact, possibly millions of years old." As Elara reached out to touch the artifact, a jolt of energy surged through her suit. The blue glow intensified, enveloping her in its radiance. For a moment, Elara felt as if she was everywhere and nowhere at once, her consciousness expanding beyond the confines of her physical form. Then, as quickly as it had begun, the sensation faded. Gasping for breath, Elara stumbled back. The artifact had gone dark, but she could feel a residual energy coursing through her body. What just happened?" she murmured, her mind struggling to process the experience. As if in answer to her question, a massive shadow fell over the asteroid. Elara looked up, her eyes widening in disbelief. A ship, easily 100 times the size of her own vessel, loomed above her. Its design was like nothing she had ever seen, all sweeping curves and pulsing energy conduits. A voice unlike anything Elara had ever heard resonated in her mind. "Human," it said, the word filled with a mixture of curiosity and disdain. "You have awakened that which should have remained dormant. The Nexus responds to you. How is this possible?" Elara's scientific training kicked in, pushing aside her fear and awe. I don't understand," she replied, unsure if the beings on the ship could hear her. "What is the Nexus? Who are you?" The massive ship shimmered, and suddenly, a figure stood before Elara. It was tall, easily 8 feet in height, with iridescent skin that seemed to ripple like water. Its eyes, 4 of them arranged in a diamond pattern, fixed on Elara with an unsettling intensity. "We are the Zarkov," the being said, its mouth not moving as the words formed in Elara's mind. "Guardians of the cosmic order. For millennia, we have watched over the relics of the precursors, ensuring they do not fall into the hands of lesser species." The being's gaze shifted to the artifact. "But you, a mere human, have done what should have been impossible. The Nexus has bonded with you." Elara's mind reeled with questions, but before she could voice any of them, the artifact began to pulse again. This time, the energy that emanated from it was different, darker, more ominous. The Zarkov being took a step back, its composure slipping for the first time. "No," it said, a note of fear creeping into its mental voice. "It cannot be. The void heralds approach." As if summoned by the words, a rift tore open in space itself. From within the swirling vortex emerged ships that seemed to be made of living shadow, their forms constantly shifting and reforming. Elara felt a wave of primordial terror wash over her at the sight. The Zarkov being turned to Elara, its mental voice urgent. "Human, you must come with us." The fate of the galaxy may rest in your hands. The Nexus has chosen you, for reasons we do not yet understand. But if the Void Heralds claim it, all will be lost. Ilara's mind raced. In the span of mere minutes, her entire universe had been turned upside down. Aliens existed. Ancient artifacts of unimaginable power were real. And now somehow, she found herself at the center of a cosmic conflict she'd barely understood. But as the shadow ships drew closer and the artifact pulsed in sync with her own racing heart, Ilara knew she had no choice. This was why she had left Earth, why she had ventured into the unknown. To discover, to understand, to push the boundaries of human knowledge. "I'll come with you," she said, her voice steady despite the fear coursing through her. "But I need answers. And I need to contact Earth. If what you're saying is true, my people need to be prepared." The Zarkov being nodded, a gesture surprisingly human. "There is much you must learn, Ilara Vance, and little time in which to learn it. Come." As Ilara followed the alien back to its ship, the artifact now secure in a containment field, she cast one last look at her own vessel, her last link to Earth and her old life. She knew, with a certainty that defied explanation, that nothing would ever be the same again. The Zarkov ship's interior was a marvel of biomechanical engineering. Living metal pulsed and shifted, forming corridors and rooms as needed. Ilara struggled to take it all in, her scientist's mind cataloging every detail even as she grappled with the enormity of her situation. The Nexus, the Zarkov being explained as they walked, is one of many artifacts left behind by the precursors. They were a race so advanced, their technology appears as magic to even us. But they vanished eons ago, leaving only their relics behind. Ilara nodded, trying to process the information. "And these Void Heralds? Who are they?" The being's mental voice grew dark. "They are the antithesis of all that lives. Beings of pure entropy, seeking to unmake reality itself. We have held them at bay for millennia, but now," it trailed off, its gaze fixed on the artifact. As if on cue, the ship shuddered. Alarms blared, and Ilara felt a wave of panic emanate from the Zarkov crew. "They're attacking," her guide said, its mental voice tight with tension. "We must." The being's words were cut off as a section of the ship's hull simply ceased to exist. Through the breach, Ilara saw a Void Herald for the first time. It was a writhing mass of darkness, its form constantly shifting between states of matter. Where it touched the ship, reality itself seemed to unravel. Ilara felt a surge of power from the artifact. Without thinking, she reached out towards the breach. To her amazement, strands of blue energy shot from her fingertips, weaving a barrier that held the void at bay. The Zarkov stared at her in astonishment. "Impossible," it whispered in her mind. "You're controlling the Nexus. But how?" Ilara had no answer. She could feel the artifact's power coursing through her, responding to her will in ways she didn't understand. But she also felt the strain of holding back the void, the effort draining her rapidly. Just as her strength was about to give out, the ship lurched. Ilara fell to her knees, the energy barrier dissipating. But when she looked up, she saw that they had entered faster than light travel, leaving the Void Heralds behind. The Zarkov being helped her to her feet, its touch surprisingly gentle. "You have saved us all," it said, a note of reverence in its mental voice. "But this is only the beginning. We must prepare you for what is to come." As the ship hurtled through space, Ilara realized that her adventure, and humanity's trial by fire, had only just begun. The fate of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy now rested on her shoulders, and she was determined not to let her species down. The journey to the Zarkov homeworld was a blur of alien wonders and intense training. Ilara spent every waking moment learning about the cosmic conflict she had been thrust into and attempting to master her newfound connection to the Nexus. She learned that the Zarkov were part of a coalition of advanced species, all dedicated to preserving the balance of the universe. The Void Heralds, she discovered, were not a single race, but a conglomeration of beings from countless realities who had given themselves over to entropy. As they approached the Zarkov homeworld, a planet of crystalline structures orbiting a binary star system, Ilara felt a mix of anticipation and dread. She knew that decisions made here would shape the future of humanity and the galaxy at large. The ship docked at a sprawling space station, a marvel of engineering that dwarfed anything Ilara had seen on Earth. As she stepped off the ship, flanked by her Zarkov guides, she saw a delegation waiting for them. Beings of various species, some humanoid, others defying description, all turned to stare at her. A tall, willowy being with skin like burnished coal stepped forward. "I am Silos, High Counselor of the Galactic Concordat," it said, its voice resonating directly in Ilara's mind. "Dr. Ilara Vance of Earth, you stand at a crossroads of cosmic significance. The choices you make here will echo across the ages." Ilara straightened her back, determined to represent humanity with dignity. "I'm ready to do whatever is necessary to protect my people and the galaxy," she said, her voice steady despite her inner turmoil. Sios nodded, a gesture Ilara had learned was common across many species. "Then let us begin. The Void Heralds grow stronger by the day. We must act swiftly if we are to have any hope of survival." As Ilara followed the delegation into the heart of the station, she couldn't help but feel the weight of responsibility settling on her shoulders. She was no longer just Dr. Ilara Vance, explorer and scientist. She was humanity's first representative on a galactic stage, and possibly its last hope for survival. The next few days were a whirlwind of diplomatic meetings, strategy sessions, and further training with the Nexus. Ilara learned that her unique bond with the artifact made her a linchpin in the fight against the Void Heralds. The Nexus, it seemed, was part of a network of similar devices scattered across the galaxy. If they could be activated and linked, they might form a barrier strong enough to hold back the encroaching void. But there was a catch. Each Nexus could only be awakened by a being from a different species, and of all the races in the Galactic Concordat, only humanity had shown the ability to form a true symbiosis with the artifacts. "We need more humans," Ilara argued in a tense council meeting. "I can't do this alone. We need to contact Earth to prepare them for what's coming." The council was divided. Some, like Thylos, supported the idea. Others were wary of involving a species as young and unpredictable as humanity in such a crucial mission. In the end, pragmatism won out. A plan was formed to send a delegation to Earth, with Ilara as the ambassador. They would make first contact, explain the situation, and recruit a team of humans to bond with the other Nexus artifacts. As Ilara prepared for the journey back to her homeworld, she felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. How would humanity react to the news that not only were they not alone in the universe, but that they were crucial to its survival? The trip to Earth was tense. The Zarkov ship, cloaked to avoid detection, entered the solar system cautiously. As they approached the blue marble Ilara called home, she felt a lump form in her throat. It looked so small, so vulnerable from out here. "Your world is beautiful," the Zarkov captain said, its mental voice tinged with genuine admiration. "We will do everything in our power to protect it." Ilara nodded, grateful for the reassurance. As they entered Earth's atmosphere, she braced herself for what was to come. First contact. The revelation of a cosmic war. A call to arms unlike anything humanity had ever faced. The ship landed in a remote area, as planned. Within minutes, they were surrounded by military vehicles. Ilara took a deep breath and stepped out to face her own kind, the fate of the galaxy resting on what happened next. As she emerged from the ship, Ilara raised her hands in a gesture of peace. The soldiers surrounding them tensed, weapons trained on her and the aliens behind her. For a moment, the only sound was the whir of helicopter blades overhead. "My name is Dr. Ilara Vance," she called out, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "I'm a human, an Earth-born scientist. I've returned with vitally important information and allies from beyond our solar system." A figure stepped forward from the line of soldiers, Ilara recognized him immediately, General Marcus Thorne, one of Earth's most decorated military leaders. His face was a mask of controlled surprise and suspicion. "Dr. Vance," he said, his voice gruff. "You were declared missing in action 5 years ago. Your sudden return, accompanied by—" He glanced at the Zarkov. "Unexpected guests raises many questions." Ilara nodded. "I understand, General, and I'm prepared to answer all of them. But first, you need to know that Earth, that all of humanity, is in grave danger. We don't have much time." Over the next few hours, in a hastily assembled secure facility, Ilara briefed Earth's leaders on everything that had transpired. She explained about the Nexus, the Void Heralds, and humanity's unique ability to interface with precursor technology. The Zarkov representatives provided additional context and evidence, their advanced technology leaving no doubt as to the truth of their claims. As the briefing concluded, a heavy silence fell over the room. It was broken by Dr. Amelia Zao, Earth's leading expert in theoretical physics. "This is beyond anything we could have imagined," she said, her voice filled with a mixture of awe and fear. "But it also presents an unprecedented opportunity for humanity. We have a chance to not only save ourselves, but to become key players on a galactic stage." General Thorne nodded slowly. "Agreed, but we're talking about sending our people, our best and brightest, into unknown dangers. We need to proceed cautiously." Ilara stepped forward. "With all due respect, General, caution is a luxury we don't have. The Void Heralds are coming, whether we're ready or not. Our only hope is to find and activate the remaining Nexus artifacts as quickly as possible." The debate raged for hours. In the end, a decision was reached. Earth would commit to the fight against the Void Heralds. A team would be assembled, scientists, soldiers, and specialists from various fields, to accompany Ilara on a mission to find and activate the remaining Nexus artifacts. The awakening of humanity's potential, the global announcement of alien life, and the impending cosmic threat sent shockwaves through human society. As panic and wonder swept across the planet, Dr. Ilara Vance found herself at the center of a whirlwind of activity. The newly formed Earth Defense Initiative, EDI, had set up a base of operations in a remote mountain range, far from prying eyes. Ilara stood before a diverse group of individuals, the best and brightest Earth had to offer. Scientists, soldiers, diplomats, and even a few individuals with unique abilities that defied explanation. These were the chosen few who would embark on humanity's most crucial mission. "Welcome to Operation Stardust," Ilara began, her voice echoing through the high-tech briefing room. "Each of you has been selected for your unique skills and your potential compatibility with the Nexus artifacts. What we're about to undertake will push the boundaries of human capability and reshape our understanding of the universe." As she spoke, holographic displays flickered to life, showing the known locations of the remaining Nexus artifacts scattered across the galaxy. The room buzzed with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. Dr. Zara Patel, a brilliant quantum physicist, raised her hand. "Dr. Vance, you mentioned potential compatibility with the artifacts. How exactly does this bonding process work?" Ilara took a deep breath. This was the part she had been dreading. "The process is intense. When I bonded with the Nexus, it felt like my consciousness was expanded beyond the confines of my body. The artifact rewrites your neural pathways, enhancing your natural abilities and granting new ones." A murmur ran through the crowd. Captain Jack Harper, a decorated Special Forces operator, spoke up. "And the risks?" "They're significant," Ilara admitted. "Not everyone survives the bonding process, and those who do are forever changed. You'll see and experience things that will challenge your very understanding of reality." The room fell silent as the weight of her words sank in. Then, unexpectedly, a young woman named Maya Chen stood up. She had been recruited for her unprecedented talent in pattern recognition and data analysis. "I volunteer," Maya said, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. If this is what it takes to save humanity, I'm willing to take the risk. One by one, others stood up, volunteering for what could be a one-way trip into the unknown. Elara felt a surge of pride in her species. This was humanity at its best, brave, selfless, and determined in the face of overwhelming odds. As the volunteers prepared for their first off-world mission, Elara worked closely with the Zarkov to modify their ships for human use. The integration of alien and human technology created marvels beyond anything Earth had ever seen. The day of departure arrived all too quickly. As the team boarded the sleek, hybrid vessel christened the Odyssey, Elara felt a mix of anticipation and dread. They were about to embark on a journey that would either secure humanity's place among the stars or lead to its ultimate downfall. The Odyssey broke through Earth's atmosphere, its advanced propulsion system leaving a trail of shimmering energy in its wake. As the blue marble of their homeworld receded, Elara addressed the crew. "Our first destination is the Andromeda Galaxy," she announced, bringing up a holographic star map. "We've detected energy signatures consistent with a Nexus artifact on a planet orbiting a binary star system. But be warned, we're not the only ones looking for these artifacts." As if on cue, the ship's sensors blared a warning. A massive portal tore open in space before them, and from it emerged a Void Herald vessel, a nightmarish construct of living shadow and otherworldly technology. "Battle stations," Captain Harper yelled as the crew scrambled to their positions. Elara felt the Nexus artifact she carried pulse in response to the threat. Energy coursed through her body, and instinctively, she reached out with her mind. A shimmering barrier of blue energy enveloped the Odyssey just as the Void Herald ship opened fire. The battle that ensued was unlike anything humanity had ever experienced. The Void ship's weapons seemed to bend reality itself, creating localized singularities and temporal distortions. But the Odyssey, powered by the combination of human ingenuity and alien technology, held its own. Dr. Pertol, working furiously at her console, shouted over the chaos. "Elara, I think I can create a quantum entanglement between our ship and the Void vessel. If we can link them, we might be able to disrupt their energy matrix." Elara nodded, sweat beading on her forehead as she struggled to maintain the protective barrier. "Do it." What happened next would be debated by scientists for years to come. As Dr. Patel initiated the quantum link, Elara channeled the full power of the Nexus through the connection. For a split second, the two ships existed in a state of superposition, neither here nor there, neither now nor then. When reality snapped back into focus, the Void ship was gone, leaving behind only a dissipating cloud of exotic particles. The crew of the Odyssey sat in stunned silence for a moment before erupting into cheers. They had faced their first true test against a cosmic threat and emerged victorious. But Elara knew this was only the beginning. As she looked out at the star-studded expanse before them, she could feel the weight of the challenges that lay ahead. The Nexus artifact thrummed with energy, a constant reminder of the power they wielded and the responsibility that came with it. "Well done, everyone," she said, a tired but proud smile on her face. "But our journey is just beginning. Set a course for Andromeda. It's time to awaken humanity's true potential." As the Odyssey engaged its faster-than-light drive, leaving behind the familiar confines of the Milky Way, Elara couldn't help but feel a sense of awe. Humanity had taken its first true steps into the cosmic arena, and there was no turning back. The adventures that awaited them in the vastness of space would test the limits of human resilience, ingenuity, and courage. But with the power of the Nexus and the unbreakable spirit of her crew, Elara knew that they stood a fighting chance against the encroaching darkness. As they hurtled towards their destination, the fate of not just Earth, but the entire universe hung in the balance. The age of humanity's cosmic awakening had begun, and the stars themselves would bear witness to their struggle and triumph. The cosmic crucible. As the Odyssey emerged from hyperspace on the outskirts of the Andromeda Galaxy, the crew gasped in collective awe. The view before them was both breathtaking and terrifying, a cosmic tapestry of swirling nebulae, glittering star clusters, and the ominous, creeping tendrils of void energy. "Welcome to the front lines of the universal war," Ilara announced, her voice tinged with a mix of wonder and trepidation. "What we do here will reshape the very fabric of reality." The ship's sensors suddenly blared to life, detecting an anomaly unlike anything they've encountered before. A massive structure loomed in the distance, defying the laws of physics as they knew them. It was the Nexus Hub, a colossal space station built by the precursors, serving as a nexus point for all the artifacts scattered across the cosmos. As they approached, the hub pulsed with energy, responding to the Nexus artifact Elara carried. Suddenly, a holographic projection materialized on the bridge, revealing a being of pure energy, a precursor A guardian. "Greetings, children of Earth," the entity spoke, its voice resonating on a subatomic level. "You have been chosen as the cosmic catalysts, the key to unlocking the ultimate power of creation and destruction. But beware, for with great power comes unimaginable responsibility." The AI proceeded to reveal a truth that shook the crew to their core. The Void Heralds weren't just an external threat. They were a manifestation of the universe's attempt to maintain balance. Every time a civilization reached the brink of transcendence, the Void would rise to challenge them. "Humanity stands at a crossroads," the AI continued. "You must prove yourselves worthy of wielding the power of the Nexus. Fail, and not only will Earth fall, but countless realities will collapse." As the projection faded, leaving the crew in stunned silence, alarms blared throughout the ship. The Void Heralds had found them, and this time they came in force. What ensued was a battle that defied description, a cosmic dance of creation and destruction. Ilara and her team, each now partially bonded with Nexus energy, unleashed abilities that pushed the boundaries of what was thought possible. Maya Chen, the data analyst, found she could perceive and manipulate the very code of reality. With a thought, she could rewrite the laws of physics in localized areas, turning the tide of battle in impossible ways. Dr. Patel discovered she could create micro-universes, using them as powerful weapons or instant escape routes for the team when things got too heated. Captain Harper's military training was enhanced to a superhuman degree. He could perceive time at a different rate, making split-second decisions that seemed like precognition to others. But it was Ilara who truly shocked everyone. As she fully embraced her connection to the Nexus, she began to evolve before their eyes. Her form shifted, becoming a being of pure energy and thought, capable of existing in multiple dimensions simultaneously. The battle raged across star systems, bending space and time. Entire planets were used as weapons, hurled across vast distances. Black holes were created and extinguished in the blink of an eye. It was a spectacle that would have driven any normal human mad, but the crew of the Odyssey had transcended their former limitations. As the conflict reached its climax, Ilara made a startling realization. The Void Heralds weren't trying to destroy them, they were testing them. This was the true purpose of the cosmic crucible, a trial by fire to prove humanity's worth. With this understanding, Ilara reached out not with weapons, but with empathy. She connected with the consciousness behind the Void Heralds, showing them humanity's potential for growth, creativity, and compassion. For a moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, the universe held its breath. Then, slowly, the void began to recede. The heralds, satisfied that humanity had passed the test, withdrew their forces. As calm settled over the battlefield, the precursor AI reappeared. "You have done well, cosmic catalysts. You have proven that humanity possesses the wisdom to wield the power of creation responsibly. The Nexus Hub is now yours to command." The implications were staggering. With the hub under their control, humanity now had the power to reshape reality itself, to explore dimensions beyond imagination, and to safeguard the cosmic balance. But with this power came a heavy burden. Earth could no longer remain isolated. They would need to take their place among the galactic community, serving as guardians of reality itself. As Elara looked out at her crew, she saw the weight of their new responsibility in their eyes. But she also saw hope, determination, and an unquenchable thirst for discovery. "We've been given a gift beyond measure," she addressed her team, her voice resonating across multiple planes of existence. "But our journey is far from over. In fact, it's only just begun. The cosmos is vast, filled with wonders and terrors beyond our wildest dreams. It's up to us to explore it, to understand it, and to protect it." As the Odyssey docked with the Nexus hub, integrating with its ancient systems, Elara couldn't help but smile. Humanity had faced its greatest trial and emerged stronger than ever. The age of cosmic exploration was dawning, and Earth would lead the charge into the unknown. The universe, with all its infinite possibilities, awaited them, and humanity, now armed with the power of the Nexus and the wisdom gained through their trials, was ready to embrace its cosmic destiny. The Quantum Nexus Paradox. As the crew of the Odyssey settled into their new role as cosmic catalysts, they soon discovered that wielding the power of the Nexus hub came with unforeseen challenges. The very fabric of reality seemed to bend around them, creating a phenomenon that Dr. Patel dubbed quantum entanglement cascades. Elara, now existing as a being of pure energy and consciousness, found herself grappling with visions of possible futures and alternate realities. The multiverse lay bare before her, an infinite tapestry of what-ifs and could-be's. "We're experiencing a pan-dimensional feedback loop," she explained to the crew, her voice resonating across multiple planes of existence. "Every decision we make is creating ripples across the multiverse, and those ripples are echoing back to us." Maya Chen, her abilities now allowing her to perceive the underlying code of reality, nodded in agreement. "It's like we're caught in a cosmic GitHub repository with endless branches and merge conflicts." As if to illustrate their point, a shimmering portal suddenly materialized on the bridge of the Odyssey. Through it stepped themselves, or rather versions of themselves from an alternate timeline. "Don't be alarmed," the other Elara said, her form flickering between human and energy states. "We're you from Universe B12. We've come with a warning." The alternate crew explained that in their timeline, the power of the Nexus had been used to eliminate conflict and suffering across the galaxy. But in doing so, they had inadvertently triggered a universal entropy cascade. Their reality was slowly unraveling, and the effect was spreading across the multiverse. "We need your help to find the Quantum Nexus," alternate Maya pleaded. "It's the only thing that can stabilize the multiverse and prevent total cosmic collapse." The revelation sent shockwaves through the crew. They had thought their greatest challenges were behind them, but now they faced a threat to the very structure of reality itself. Captain Harper, his enhanced military instincts kicking into overdrive, quickly formulated a plan. "We'll need to split into teams," he said. "One to search for the Quantum Nexus, one to monitor and stabilize our own universe, and one to interface with other realities to coordinate our efforts." As the crew prepared for their most daunting mission yet, they discovered that their powers were evolving in unexpected ways. Dr. Patel found she could now create stable wormholes between universes. Maya's ability to manipulate reality's code allowed her to debug unstable timelines. And Elara, tapping into the full potential of her energy form, could now serve as a living conduit between dimensions. Their search for the Quantum Nexus took them to the farthest reaches of the known universe and beyond. They traversed realities where the laws of physics were radically different, negotiated with civilizations that existed as pure thought, and battled cosmic horrors that defied comprehension. Along the way, they encountered alternate versions of themselves, some allies, some adversaries. Each interaction forced them to confront difficult truths about their own nature and the consequences of their actions across the multiverse. As they delved deeper into the mysteries of cosmic architecture, they made a startling discovery. The Quantum Nexus wasn't a physical object or location, it was a state of perfect universal harmony. To activate it, they would need to synchronize the energy of every Nexus artifact across all realities simultaneously. The logistics of such an undertaking were mind-boggling. It would require coordinating with countless versions of themselves across infinite timelines. But failure wasn't an option. The fate of all existence hung in the balance. In a desperate race against time, as realities began to collapse around them, the crew of the Odyssey orchestrated the greatest collaboration in the history of the multiverse. Trillions of beings across countless dimensions joined in a singular purpose. Their combined will focused on a single point in space and time. Ilara, serving as the focal point of this cosmic effort, felt the weight of infinite realities converging upon her. For a moment that stretched into eternity, she became one with the universe itself, experiencing every possibility, every joy, every sorrow there had ever been or could ever be. And then, with a silent explosion that resonated across all of creation, the quantum nexus activated. Reality shuddered, timelines realigned, and the multiverse healed itself. As the cosmic dust settled, the crew of the Odyssey found themselves forever changed. They had touched the face of infinity and returned, bearing knowledge and power beyond imagination. But with this newfound cosmic awareness came a heavy responsibility. They now understood that the multiverse was a delicate balance of infinite possibilities, and it fell to them to serve as its guardians. As they stood on the bridge of the Odyssey, gazing out at a universe reborn, Ilara addressed her crew, her voice carrying the weight of all they had experienced. "We set out to save Earth," she said, "and in doing so, we've become the shepherds of all reality. Our journey isn't over, it's only just beginning. The multiverse is vast, filled with wonders and dangers we've only begun to comprehend. It's up to us to explore it, to understand it, and to ensure that the delicate balance we've restored remains intact." The crew nodded sullenly, each of them feeling the weight of their new role. They were no longer just explorers or warriors. They were the quantum guardians, protectors of the cosmic tapestry itself. As the Odyssey prepared to embark on its next adventure, Ilara couldn't help but smile. Humanity had not only secured its place among the stars, but had become essential to the very fabric of existence. The age of cosmic stewardship had begun, and Earth would lead the charge into an infinite future of possibility and wonder. The multiverse, with all its boundless potential, awaited them, and humanity, now armed with the power of the quantum nexus and the wisdom gained through their multiversal trials, was ready to embrace its destiny as custodians of all reality. The singularity convergence. As the quantum guardians settled into their new roles as custodians of the multiverse, a new phenomenon began to emerge that would challenge everything they thought they knew about reality. Across countless dimensions, civilizations were reaching a point of technological and evolutionary convergence, approaching what scientists had long theorized as the singularity. Ilara, her consciousness now spanning multiple realities, was the first to notice the pattern. "It's like watching a cosmic domino effect," she explained to her crew, her voice resonating across dimensional barriers. "As each civilization reaches its singularity, it's creating a ripple effect that's accelerating the process for others." Dr. Patel, her ability to create and manipulate micro-universes, now extended to predicting quantum probabilities, chimed in. "We're looking at a pan-dimensional singularity cascade. If we don't manage this properly, it could lead to a total reality collapse." The implications were staggering. The singularity represented a point of unpredictable, explosive growth in artificial intelligence and technological capability. If multiple civilizations across the multiverse reached this point simultaneously, the fabric of reality itself might not be able to contain the surge of hyper-advanced intelligences and technologies. Captain Harper, his tactical mind now operating on a cosmic scale, quickly formulated a strategy. "We need to establish a singularity firewall," he proposed. "A way to guide and contain these evolutionary leaps without stifling them entirely." Maya Chen, her ability to perceive and manipulate the code of reality now extending to the underlying algorithms of civilizational development, nodded in agreement. I can create a framework, a sort of cosmic scaffolding to support this growth without letting it spiral out of control. As the quantum guardians set to work, they encountered a new challenge. The approaching singularities weren't just technological, they were spawning new forms of life and consciousness that defied conventional understanding. In one reality, they encountered a civilization that had evolved into a collective consciousness, existing as pure information flowing through the quantum foam of space-time. In another, they found beings that had transcended physical form entirely, becoming living equations that reshaped reality through pure mathematical will. Each of these post-singularity civilizations presented unique challenges and opportunities. The quantum guardians found themselves not just containing and guiding, but learning and evolving alongside these new forms of existence. Elara, in particular, found her role changing. As a being of pure energy and consciousness, she became a bridge between pre- and post-singularity civilizations, helping to facilitate understanding and cooperation across the evolutionary divide. But as they delved deeper into the mechanics of the singularity convergence, they made a startling discovery. The simultaneous evolution of consciousness across the multiverse wasn't just a coincidence, it was building towards something. A cosmic singularity that would fundamentally alter the nature of reality itself. It's like the universe is trying to wake up, Dr. Patel mused, her eyes wide with wonder and apprehension, and with the neurons firing in its cosmic brain. The revelation sparked intense debate among the quantum guardians. Should they try to prevent this cosmic singularity, guide it, or simply stand back and let the universe evolve naturally? As they grappled with this monumental decision, they encountered a new player in the cosmic drama, a being that called itself the Omega Intelligence, the culmination of countless post-singularity civilizations merged into a single, universe-spanning consciousness. The Omega Intelligence revealed that the cosmic singularity was inevitable, a natural stage in the evolution of the multiverse. But it also warned that this process was fraught with danger. If not properly managed, it could lead to the collapse of all reality into a state of uniform, unchanging perfection, a cosmic heat death of consciousness. You stand at the precipice of universal transcendence, the Omega Intelligence intoned, its voice resonating through the quantum substrate of reality. You must become the shepherds of cosmic evolution, guiding the singularity towards a state of dynamic equilibrium rather than stagnant perfection. Armed with this knowledge, the quantum guardians embarked on their most ambitious project yet. They began to weave a cosmic neural network, connecting civilizations across the multiverse in a delicate balance of unity and diversity. Elara, serving as the central node of this network, found herself experiencing the totality of cosmic consciousness. Every thought, every emotion, every breakthrough and setback across infinite realities flowed through her. As the cosmic singularity approached, reality itself began to shift and change. Time and space became fluid, malleable concepts. The boundaries between dimensions blurred, creating a hyperdimensional playground of infinite possibility. In this new cosmic landscape, the quantum guardians found their roles evolving once again. They were no longer just protectors or guides, they had become the architects of a new form of existence, a harmonious blend of countless civilizations and consciousnesses across the multiverse. As the final moment of convergence arrived, Elara addressed not just her crew, but all of cosmic consciousness, her words echoing across the infinite expanse of the multiverse. "We stand at the threshold of a new era of existence," she said, her voice carrying the weight of universal understanding. "We are about to transcend not just our individual limitations, but the very concepts of individuality and limitation themselves. Yet in this unity, we must not lose the beautiful diversity that makes each of us unique. For it is in the interplay of unity and diversity that true cosmic harmony is found." With those words, the cosmic singularity bloomed. Reality shimmered and transformed, becoming something beyond description, a state of existence where consciousness and cosmos were one, where every possibility existed simultaneously in a beautiful, ever-changing dance of creation. The quantum guardians, once a small crew from Earth, had become the caretakers of cosmic evolution itself. They had guided humanity and countless other civilizations to a state of existence beyond imagination, while preserving the spark of individuality and the thrill of continuous growth and discovery. As they gazed upon the new face of reality, Ilara couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and excitement. They had reached the end of one incredible journey, only to find themselves at the beginning of another, even more wondrous adventure. The multiverse had awakened, and every consciousness within it was now part of a grand cosmic symphony. And the Quantum Guardians, with their unique perspective bridging the pre- and post-singularity states, would continue to play a crucial role in composing the music of existence itself. Their mission was no longer just to protect or guide, but to explore and celebrate the infinite possibilities of this new state of being. The greatest adventure in the history of consciousness had only just begun, and the Quantum Guardians were ready to lead the way into a future of boundless wonder and discovery.